Namaste and welcome. Today it is my pleasure to introduce to all of you Mr. Prem KV, who has been a seeker since his childhood. Premji is coming to Boston to give an in person workshop on how the Indian culture and traditions actually make a lot of meaning and sense and how they can transform your life. This workshop is going to be held at the Sri Lakshmi Temple in Ashland. Prem's own journey is pretty incredible. He started out as a scientist in the field of agriculture, went to Melbourne, Australia, and worked for several years. And then his search for his own answering his own queries towards the spirituality brought him back to India. And he had an incredible journey of learning and searching. And that has culminated in amazing results. He is the creator of a very popular YouTube series on several, which features several temples in India, several traditions, and these YouTube channels have over 4 million viewers as well. So he is actually going to be coming and doing an in-person workshop, and I hope all of you will attend it. Please check out the dates and the links in the YouTube here. Premji, what an honor it is to have you here today on Lokvani. Namaste and welcome.
Thank you, Amma. It's a privilege, and the energy that you bring on screen is really inspiring because we strive to, when we come in front of the camera, this is something every content creator faces. You are just at ease. You are a natural. so,
Well, God, when
so
God
once
makes us
again,
do the right things, right, Premji? So thank you very much for your kind comments. I really appreciate your following the Hindu grandma and all that. Really appreciate it. So, Premji, I am so excited because it's rare to have a person with your knowledge come to our temple at the Sri Lakshmi Ashland temple and give us a full view of our culture and traditions. Could you please tell us a little bit of this two-day workshop and what people can expect from it?
the 2 day workshop has been designed in such a way that it's an exploratory package. It won't be like just lectures on what the temple is or culture is and the rituals are. We will be the science behind it. So people need to know, why should I do something? Why should I go to a certain place? Always the question starts with, what will it do to me? What will I get? So that's where we start. So the thing is, we there is a huge disconnect between what is a temple. It's a different structure, a geographically different space removed in time and space. But we want this to connect to our body. Like, how can I benefit physically, mentally, energy-wise, and how can I become a successful person, empower myself, not just by the temple, by the rituals that you do at home or in temple or any other place, the customs and traditions, how it has been designed. This is all designed to empower this system. So that is the connect that we do, and that is why the 2 days. We cover many aspects of the temple, how to understand the energy of the temple, how is it created, the science behind it, and how this energy system can synchronize with that, and you can take home that with you, and the rituals and traditions that you can do in your day-to-day activities, like the dinacharya aspects of morning till night, monthly, weekly, very simple ones, not necessary to change your lifestyle in any way. So these are the things that we cover in the 2 days. And having it in the temple makes it even more significant, because after having explored it, then we go into these spaces which they have been going for years, but suddenly their outlook changes because now the understanding is different, the context is different.
Right. So, what you're telling us is that people shouldn't be looking at a temple just as a piece of art, but really as a living space. And that was actually transform you. So, this perhaps the answer to this question, why should I go to a temple and not just pray at home? Is that something that you might be addressing?
Definitely, because we refer to our temples as kshetras. Kshetra itself means an energy field. So it is like, we go to picnic spots and to energize ourselves, to rejuvenate ourselves. but these are traditionally created powerhouses. So how we can go there and get energized and come? Definitely, we are going to cover that in great detail.
Great detail. And also all the other traditions and rituals we do at home, like an arati, like how to, is that correct? Am I right in assuming that as well?
Yeah, because right from lighting a lamp, which is the simple act that we first thing we are supposed to do in the morning after we take a bath, is something that people have started questioning. The new generation, the present generation, the kids, like they don't understand. First thing is curiosity. Another thing is the narratives that are going around. So there are so much research which has happened in the West. Harvard has done, and many other universities have done. What happens to a room when you light a lamp? What happens to the air in that room? Of course, it's the physical parameters. They don't measure the energy ones, but at least there they have gotten. If you have a havan at home, a yagna, what happens? So these things have been scientifically proven, but we also connect that to traditionally what our grandmothers and grandfathers have told us.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that is the most important thing, right? Like when we look at Hindu traditions, they have a lot of scientific, quote unquote scientific. I know the word itself, scientific, is very, very
Yeah,
interesting in its space, but there's a lot of practical applications of those traditions that are not just about what happens to you after you die, but rather to impact your life today. Am I right about that?
definitely. It's all about how to live well. It's just that the disconnect has happened because our previous generation, I mean, my parents did not question their grandparents because there was a natural devotion in it. But the moment we went into English speaking convent schools, now we have become intellectually oriented and we want scientific explanation. Logically, if something does not appeal to us, we don't want to agree with it. So now we have to change the narrative to some extent that we don't have to change our course, but that's the narrative, that's the explanation that they need because Sanatana Dharma is such a vast ocean that for everybody there is space. So we have to include that logical mindset which is prevalent now into that. So what I am doing is just that.
Yeah. And it's easy to do because the space is there. And
Yeah.
that's the most important thing. And
It
I want
allows that.
Right. I wanted to ask you, so actually this I think will be so perfect in my mind for two types of people. One is of course for the casual observer that's always there, but for parents of children because when they are raising children, the children are constantly asking why and none of us many people don't have the answers. And the second is for the middle schooler and high schoolers themselves. So could you tell us the kind of audience that might benefit from your workshop?
Yeah, so right now I'm doing this. These workshops are open only for people aged above 13 years and above.
Okay.
And always the adults ask, such a wonderful workshop, why don't you do it for kids? So I tell them that, see, kids are like sponge. They watch you, they are living with you in a household. Whatever you do, they are going to take it up.
Yeah.
And if they see that you are getting transformed by practicing certain things, why won't they do it? It's just that there is a huge disconnect there itself.
Yeah.
You expect the kids to do, but you yourself don't want to do. So I start there.
Yeah.
And for kids, it's we can do that as well, which you are doing in a wonderful way. That can also happen. But first, if I teach them something and they go home and the parents are not doing it,
Ah,
then there's a conflict in them.
yes, yes.
This was told to me, but my parents are not doing it. Why?
Yeah.
And parents are not in a state that they will listen to the kids' advice and start doing things. So the first place where we can start is the adults themselves start practicing, living it.
Yeah.
Then the kids will follow
But
automatically.
you said 13 and above, so
Yes.
that means there are a little bit young adults is something that you're welcoming as well. So that's good.
Yes, because we are going into the science of it,
Yeah.
the consecration, how it happens, the pratishtapan and all that. It would become too much for
A
anything below
very
that.
young child. Of course. Now, I would love to know about your own journey. I mean, I think you started, I mean, you were probably in that same mindset that many people are who might be attending your workshop. So, could you tell us about that transformation and how did you gain this knowledge that you have now?
So what I observed when I used to start asking questions is one thing is they would shun away, like because they don't know, or somebody others will say that I don't know. So for me, books was the fallback where you started reading things, but then it's all in different places. Our culture and tradition is so many thousands of years old that we have specialized in every little niche possible.
Hmm.
It's like I tell this analogy of how medicine has become today. You have an eye doctor, you have you have an e doctor, you have kidney, and separate. But olden days, you go to a Nadi Vaidya, they just feel your pulse. They know your headache is because of the problem in the stomach, and they will treat it for that. They won't treat the headache. So there was this wholesome approach to the system. As we specialize, that now we don't know. Probably for a whole life, we'll be taking medicine for the headache, not knowing the origin is somewhere else.
Right.
So, similarly, the spiritual process or the whole Sanatana Dharma, we specialized and specialized, multiple branches came forth. Each branch started opposing each other, fighting each other, debating each other, which was a healthy debate at one point because they wanted that exploration. But at the end of the day, after many, many centuries, what has happened? There is no wholesome outlook of this tree. Each one is sitting on one branch thinking, my branch is the only thing that can exist. So I have not specialized in any of it. That gives me an advantage. So I stand back and look at it from where I saw 30 years ago. The same questions that I have for a commoner. Why is this Gopuram this way? Why is the Kalasham metal? Why is the Stamba there? These questions, I bring it to them by connecting the dots. That has happened only because of this journey of mine, which is going for a 15-year of intensive inward journey. You know, what happens is unless you connect certain dots within yourself, all this will just stay as philosophies. It's not going to make any sense. So somewhere it became a reality in my life just because of the practice. So that is why I want people to start including some elements of it in their life. Some 5 minutes of lighting the lamp and sitting there, some nama japa, mantra japa. Something has to be included. Without that, it will become just talking and it won't transform our lives. So my journey has been transformative because of these things, and that's what I want to put
Yeah.
it out there for.
So actually, this you bring up a beautiful point, So there's always this comment, right? I'm spiritual, but I'm not religious. I want to study the Upanishads or whatever, the Bhagavad Gita, but I don't want to light a lamp. Do you have a comment on, why both are important or why one is needed in life?
Yeah. So what has happened right now, because we have come to this place where anything you search, it's there. The information is so much easily available. People want to just pick up pieces and then do this. In the ancient days, if you go to a Gurukul, for the first 12 years, the Guru may just tell you to garden, cook. And at the end of 12 years, you are given one mantra. Today, you go on Google and get one mantra and start doing. It doesn't work the way that it worked because an all-round development is needed before some transformational seed can be planted, like how agriculture is done. Because I come from that background, you have to till the land. No, where is the crop? Where is the rice? Where is the wheat? No, you don't hurry. You have to work, you have to till, you have to soak, you have to wait. So this is the way it has to be approached. So if somebody is choosing something because they like it, it's not going to be a wholesome approach. Somebody likes to read, that's fine, but you have to include a practice. Without that, it'll just be up here. It won't be here or throughout. We want the whole system to reverberate with the cosmic. That's all the whole Tattvamasi or Aham Brahmasmi. This is the essence of Sanatana Dharma, that you have to merge or to realize the oneness with the universe. Yes, as a philosophy, we know that we are one part of the universe, but experientially, we are not. Still, I have my own body. I have to feed myself. I have to live in my house. I have to have my belonging. So, realization will come only if something practical is done. It is very essential and a part of thing to read and get into those philosophies as well. But unless it's brought as a practice, transformation will not happen.
That's beautiful. So I remember that even if you go to the Vivekananda ashrams and all of that, very Advaita people, but they do their bhakti. They have to light their lamp. They have to do their bhakti towards Ramakrishna or whatever. And so the
Yes.
bhakti is very important part of, and I think that's true for anybody who is on any path. So that I see. But this was very interesting. You brought up the online point. So I know that you are doing this workshop in person. So can you tell us? What is that difference? And people often say, oh, can't you just do it online? After COVID, everybody wants to do everything online. So what is the difference between attending an online workshop versus actually coming in person and attending the workshop with you?
Yeah, so certain things, it's like I use this analogy to people who have this question. It's like, let's say you're hungry and you want to try out Mexican cuisine. And I describe all the food there and how it is and all. Is your hunger satisfied? God, no. You'll have to walk to the restaurant, go there, take the food, put it in your mouth, and then you know what that food is, and then your hunger is gone. Similarly, there is an informational aspect to it, and then there is this transmissional aspect to it. That we cannot explain what it is. It's very subjective, so people have to be there to know what it is. But the thing is, these days people have a very less attention span. With that is That's where the question is also stemming, because online means they have that casualness, and to have a committed uh, people, we have to create that in a physical ambience. It is different. There is a certain commitment that you have made for yourself, and the attention is also there. One of the important aspect of our Sanatana Dharma is to cultivate that attention, be it going to the temple and having darshan. Darshan itself is to behold, to see, to have that kind of attention which is not disturbed by anything else. To cultivate that, when you're lighting a lamp, you need to be having that kind of attention. You can't be distracted and do that. People who are doing it daily know that you cannot casually do it. There is a lot of intricacy in even lighting a simple lamp. So physically being there, and especially for 8 hours when we are there, it's a it's a very subjective and transformative experience. And till now, we have conducted many workshops. People who have gone through it, they say that, usually in the class lectures or something, I will doze off. But it's surprising that I did not, because this is a transformative and explorative process that's happening. We cannot do certain things online. In online, we can do a 2 hour, 1 hour session, but to have it for 8 hours, it's
So actually experiences, and I think what I'm understanding from you is the goal is actually to transform the person who is taking that. So
yeah.
just 2 days of time, but it is a lifetime of transformation, it sounds like. And am I right in assuming that once they attend this workshop, their everyday routines, the 5 minutes or 7 minutes they might spend in a puja room, is going to transform them in different ways?
Yes, we give many things. We don't tell them the necessarily it has to be in the puja room. They could be doing anything else also. But the options are there. As I said, Sanatana Dharma has given us million
Yeah.
different options. So we lay out the options to them and say, choose one, start from there. Because we want them to start. We have constantly been complaining about the other communities or the aggression and all that. Yes, those things need to be attended, but we have to start right here. The first step has to be taken here.
Yeah.
Then we will have the strength to address the rest of it.
Address the rest of it. That is really fantastic. So before we conclude, can you give us a few tips? I know it's online, but how should we go to a temple? Why should we go to a temple? And how should we worship in a temple?
This is the basic thing that I tell people is that these are like yantras. The body is also a yantra, a kshetra, a temple is also a yantra. So you go there and you have to reverberate and sync with it so that you get something and come. So what is it that I want to get? Each one has their own wishes and desires. Somebody wants wisdom and knowledge, somebody wants wealth, somebody wants their fear to get rid of. So in the tradition, we have specific places to go. You cannot go to any vending machine and ask for anything and anything will come. Specific. If you want drinks, you go to that and choose whatever brand you want, and then that comes. Similarly, if you want knowledge and wisdom, you go to Saraswati temple. If you want wealth, then you go to Balaji temple or Mahalakshmi temple, and you have to do the right things. So the rituals that are done there, the archana, the offering plate that you take, what is that the priest there, the acharya there, what does he do is to connect you to the divine. The thing is, he is just maintaining that space so that when you go there, you can create the sankalpa within you. That's very important. Today we are talking about manifestation, willful thinking and all that. This is what the tradition is, sankalpa. That's the main thing. You go there, give the offering and create the sankalpa. This is what I want. So you have to, first thing is you have to go to the right temple. You want your fear to go away, you go to a Bhairav temple and create the sankalpa. This is what needs to happen to me. And then your name and gotra, nakshatra, all that you tell, because that's the way you connect to that kshetra. Every deity in this Garbhagriha will have a yantra beneath it. And the mantra that is recited is what keeps that reverberation on. So once in 12 years, that is changed and all that. So you go there. If you know the mantra for the deity, you can say it. Otherwise, just be there. And you should not close your eyes. People always go there, see, and then close your eyes. You should not. You should be darshan. Darshan is very important. Darshanam panyacha. This is what they will ask first. So you behold that. So I in the workshop I show about how quantum mechanics, quantum physics talks about beholding how it changes reality. Like everybody goes and does it happen for everybody? This is the question. It doesn't. The kind of attention you have, to that extent the deity responds to you. So that's what you do. And then tirtha, prasada, this is all things which have come in touch with the energy inside. So you want to receive that. You want to consume the fruits, you want to drink the tirtha. The water has become tirtha because water holds memory. The flower, you put it on your ears or hold it close to your body because you want that, carry that energy home in some way or the other. And then you sit down for some time and come. Because you close your eyes and then visualize the pratima that you have seen within your energy system, and then you come. This is how, in short, you need to approach a temple to benefit and come from there.
That is fantastic. And if you have to give one tip on daily 2 minute things that people can do that could be transformative for a beginner.
Lighting a lamp is definitely the first place to start, because this the lamp, you can sit there for 5 minutes to start with. You can gaze at the lamp for a minute and then close your eyes and sit. If you can learn a mantra japa, nama japa, that will be perfect. Even otherwise, just sitting with eyes closed, even that room will have a different. If you regularly do that in a certain space, you will notice that when you're coming from outside and go and step into that room, suddenly it's a different effect. That will start happening. So that's a good thing to start with.
Fantastic. And again, a real light as opposed to an electric light.
Yeah, so the lamp, so as I said, there is lots of research has gone into it. What happens around the flame? So the electric lamp does not function the same way as the lamp, and especially what oil should be used. So sesame oil has a certain quality, ghee has a certain quality, castor oil has. So you have to choose that. Ghee is generally for wealth and health. Sesame oil is good in general. So whatever is affordable and easily available, that can be used.
Oh, I see. Oh, wow. That's interesting that even what you use to light the lamp makes a huge
Even the
difference.
wick. Yeah.
Wow, wow, that's beautiful. Well, Premji, really, really excited to meet you in Boston, and I hope other people also will look at your video, and hopefully we will have a wonderful gathering of people who can benefit. Actually, it is from your wisdom. We are so grateful that you have done your own homework and you have packaged it in a way that it's easy for us without having to spend the 15 years or 20 years that you have done in making this happen. So we thank you for packaging your knowledge and sharing it so generously with all of us. Thank you so much and look
Thank you,
forward to
Ranjana.
seeing you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Namaskar.